Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS25 tutorial video. In this video I'll show you how you can keep Highland cattle. With the Highland Fishing DLC we got Highland cattle into the game. And yeah, they are very cute and a little bit rough, and they fit perfectly in this Scottish Highland area. Okay, they are easy to keep. I would say let's have a look at some facts. So, the Highlands cattle are pure beef cattle in FS25. So they don't give milk in the game. Yeah, and you can keep them like cows, more or less. And you could use breeding barns or dairy barns. Both are possible. And they also have to be fed like cows with grass, hay, silage or total mixed ration. And they can also eat the grass from the meadow, especially when the meadow is big like that one. And we have 3 age groups: very little calves, juveniles and adult ones. And yeah, those are the most important facts. One way to keep them is on such a pasture. And even in reality, they are so robust due to their very long hair that they can stay outside even in winter time. And therefore, they don't need a building. And this barn has one main advantage: it's very cheap, and has one main disadvantage: you need to feed water. Even if they can eat the grass from the pasture whole year long, you have to come here every few days to give them water. And if you have a lot of them, maybe you have to come twice a day or so to give them water, because the water trough is not so big. And depending on the size of the meadow that you have for them and the amount of cattle, they can be fed all year round with the grass from the meadow. If it's a very large meadow like that one, and you only have a few of those cows, then they can eat the grass from the meadow for the whole year and you don't need to feed them. But if you have more cows and depending on the size of the meadow, then you maybe need to give them food in the winter or maybe even in the summer. It depends on the size of the pasture and the amount of cattle. And when they are babies, they eat less than when they are adult. And I think this meadow here, it goes up to this blue house more or less, and we only have few cows there. I guess they can be happy with it for the whole year through. Okay. Now I'll show you how to build a barn, feed them, and so forth. Here on the main farm we have a free area, and I removed this barn in the end. And so we have quite a lot of place, and I go into the build menu with Shift and P. This is the key for PC. For consoles you need to go through the shop and then to the build menu. And here is our empty area where we can build. And here is the animal barn section down there where you can see the cow. And the first one is the cows. And this one is the one we have down there. It just has a little feeding trough and a water trough. And you can make the fence as big as you want, and the bigger it is, the more grass can grow there, and yeah, so you can keep more of those cows. And that is the same for the other barns as well. Here is the smallest one with a building, and with 85,000 bucks, it's rather cheap. Yeah, and this has automatic water supply because it has a building, and that applies for all the other following barns with buildings as well. Here we have a bigger one from the base game, and those are the Hermann barns. They can also be used for milk cattle, but the Highland cattle, they are not disturbed by the milking robot and such. So you could use them, but you don't need to use them. And then we got some new barns, Hermann barns even, with this pack. That was not announced, it's just there. So we have this very interesting cow barn. And here another one, huge, rather expensive. And then we have a rather cheap one that fits to this overall building style, which is a little bit run down and full of moss and such. Yeah, and I will build that one because it's the smallest and the cheapest and such, and it fits very well here into this space. So I just click to place it, and now I'm asked whether I want to customize the fence for the cow barn, and usually I would do it, but because I already showed it to you in the cow tutorial and in a dedicated tutorial about building your own fences for barns, I say no here. And now I'm asked, do you want to plant the meadow for the cow barn? Yes, I want. Okay, here I have a second one. I don't need that. And we can go down and have a look. So here is the barn. Here you go with your tractor to provide for the food. There are the cows. And here you can buy the cows. And here is the little pasture. And right now the grass is only very young, and therefore we can see here meadow 0 liters. So if we would buy Highland cattle right now, they couldn't eat. They wouldn't become healthy. But they would become healthy tomorrow and day after tomorrow. But we would need to wait longer. And to prevent this, I can just give them some food. And therefore I prepared some food for them. Here we have total mixed ration here. I made an extra tutorial about total mixed ration. It consists of hay and silage and maybe some straw and mineral feed, and is usually made with a mixing wagon. So now I deliver this. And for this Highland cattle, I could also just give them some grass or hay or silage. It doesn't need to be total mixed ration, because you need to have them anyhow for a while. They don't give milk. If you have milking cows, then I would say give them total mixed ration, because then they are more productive. But that's not the case for beef cattle. And we could also give them some straw at the same place, but that's not needed for their health or their well-being, only in our imagination. It feels more nice and cozy. They have straw beddings in this lay-down areas. But gameplay-wise, it doesn't matter. It would only matter if you want to get manure from them, but then you need to build a manure heap as well, and that is a topic of a different tutorial that you can also find on my channel. So now let's buy some of those Highland cattle. Here is the paw symbol. I just press R, or I rather open up the help menu. Then you can see which key you need to press for the animal dialog. On console, it's a different button. And here on PC, I need to press R. And here I come to the cow buying menu. And here are all the normal cows. And here I find the Highland cattle. And I could also buy those Highland cattle at the animal dealer, but then I need to have an animal transporter. And yeah, if I want to drive back and forth with animals rather often, then it's a good idea to buy such an animal transporter. But if I don't do it very often, it's cheaper to pay the fee for the transportation. Here you need to pay a fee for transportation. I click here on the Highland cattle. Here we have the little babies, just 0 months old, newborns. And I can choose a number. I just buy 3 of them. And here we see the price and the fee, $50 for each, for the small ones. And then I click on buy. And yes, I want to buy them. Okay, and I buy some older ones. They are 6 months old. 3 again. You can buy the amount of cows that you want. This 3 is just an example. And buy. And here the big ones, they are adult. And they have horns, as you can see. I also buy 3 one. And they are adult enough to get calves. The gestation period is 10 months. So in 10 months from now, they would get a newborn calf, each of them, if they are healthy. So those 10 months count also only when they are in good health. And then this gestation goes 1 month up every month. And yeah, so you can make money by breeding them. So you just wait 10 months and then you get the little one. And then you wait until it's old enough for you to sell. You could sell them after 1 year or after 18 months or even later. The value is rising up to a certain point, but they take place in your barn. They eat food, so it could be a different age, which would be the best sweet spot to sell them. The other possibility is you buy newborns or 6 months old calves and just let them grow up. Then you don't need to wait those 10 months and feed the adult cows. They eat much more than the little ones. So you can do it as you like. Now let's go and have a look at our Highland cattle. Here they are. Did I buy the adult ones? let's have a look. Yes, I bought them. Here they are. Look how cute. And they seem to eat from the concrete as if it would be grass, but it's a game, and they don't distinguish between meadow and concrete. But aren't they cute? So, and maybe you might ask, can I earn a lot of money with them? I would say no. You can earn money, but you can use your money and your land for much more lucrative things than having Highland cattle. But I think they are just wonderful, and they give your farm a cozy feeling, and it's nice to have them. And in the end, they are not so expensive to keep, because if the meadow is big enough, you don't even need to feed them. And yeah, so you earn a little bit of money every year from them, and they don't need much food and cost, and so they only need place and a one-time investment for the barn, and it's nice to have them. And therefore I would absolutely recommend to have some Highland cattle, and especially when you play on Kinlake. But you could also play on other maps with Highland cattle if you own the Highland DLC and activate it for this other save game. Then it behaves as if it would be a mod, and you can have Highland cattle then. Okay, that's it about those wonderful creatures. Thank you for your support as a Ruby channel member. If you want to buy FS25 or a DLC, feel free to use my code OMATANA. You'll find the link for the PC version in the video description. It doesn't cost you anything extra and supports me a lot. Now I wish you a wonderful day, thank you for watching, and all the best till next time. Tschüss!